I think it was an insurance company or a law company, wanted this little building built. And so we laid the block, and was getting ready to start finishing inside. And this guy in a suit walked in the door. He explained that he had a new product to put up ceilings, and it was just ready to do it, and he wanted to give a price on it. So he got his ruler out, measured it up, and told us how much he wanted. So I said, well, let's do it. So he took off, and about a half hour later, this guy walked in the door with overalls on, pencil behind his ear, and it was Don. He took his suit off. He's going to put tile up.
I was born in 1928, and this was during the Great Depression. There were very few jobs for adults. So my mother told my brother and I to go out in the neighborhood. There's lawns to mow, gutters to clean, snow to shovel. My brother and I would be standing in front of the Richmond Bank on the square, and we would have baskets of corsages. They were imitations, but they smelt like the real thing. And when the couples would walk by, we would say to the gentleman, would you like a corsage for your girl? It worked every time. It was a great entrepreneurial start. I got my Social Security card when I was 10 years old. This allowed me to work at my father's filling station. I continued this line of work till I graduated from high school.
Working at the gas station had a big impression on his philosophy on life, and then what gave him some drive.
I was involved with customers, satisfying their needs, learning to give respect. After high school, I went to work with my father and his crew.
His father allowed him to run jobs, to get the experience to run a crew, deal with the general contractors, I think, from that standpoint. So he had a lot of faith in him.
My father gave up his position so that I could lead, which is teaching me to do that, and I appreciate it. My father-in-law gave me the opportunity to open up a business in his barn and to build a little office on the front of it.
My mother's father, I think, structured the financial end of keeping track of cost and payments and things like that.
Those two set the pace, the stage, for us to continue on.
One of the benefits that I've found with J&B, and that's why I go back to them often, is that, sure, they understand the drawings, they can read the drawings, but they also take it a step above, and if there's issues or if there's a better way to build it for longevity for the owner, they always step up and bring those items to light. They're a significant asset to a construction team, that's for sure.
The growth of the acoustical field was dictated by the cost. Lathing and plastering was very expensive, time-consuming. We could go into a classroom and put up a ceiling, probably do 4 or 5 that day, which was much different than what it was with the lathing and plastering. It took forever.
And I think that's where the light came on and said, geez, there's a better way to do things out there. There's a better way to provide for my family. And I think it took off from there.
We were just working on a project where Adina and myself specifically, we were going back and forth with the inspector, and we brought up J&B, and he says, well, let's just call J&B, find out what they want to do, and then that's fine with me. So, I mean, in the end, he wanted to go back and rely on their expertise, and if it was good for them, it was good for him.
The office is 5,000 square feet. I think the main building is 100 by 200, and that was built in 73, I think. And we've had 2 additions onto that since then that Ken and I have put on, where the glass shop and the door shop are now.
Over the years, we added hollow metal doors and frames and hardware. Then we added glass and glazing. Why? Because they were underserved. There was only one other door shop in town. There was one other glass shop in town, and he wanted to sell it. So we just started our own. We're looking at some new prefabricated construction panels. We're one of 10 in the United States that is licensed to do this procedure. So adding new product helps your organization to grow in many, many ways. Now we're always looking for something new.
They could send one guy to a project to work on a door, to running the entire project. So I really think they can do all aspects of it and provide a service regardless of size.
There's no such thing as a self-made man. We're all a product of those individuals which we interact with in our lives, the ones that have input. In order to grow, you have to have new people, you have to have new customers. So that means you got to have a relationship with them.
There's relationships there where it's not always about dollars and cents. It's about providing a quality product for the end user. Dollars aside, they will sit down and make sure that things are being built the way they should be, so that they not only last through construction, but for years and years and years to come for the folks that are going to own the building. And truly, to me, I mean, that's what matters in our business, is providing a quality product that'll last for years, that you can be proud of every time you drive by it.
What makes a good leader is have a person who is bossing or running the show be able to perform the work. Because if you can't perform it, you can't be a real good manager. You have to depend on the others. So I would say that Don, when it comes to tile and floor tile and metal doors and almost any of it, plastering, why, he could do that. So therefore, he's able to hire people and look and see if they can do the job.
We're trying to be as much of a family as we can and get together at different times for lunches if we can, as a complete family, everybody there. Know everybody's background, attend graduation parties for multiple kids, and in fact, at one time we had, I believe it was 18 either father and son or brothers that worked for us, which is kind of, it says a lot.
When someone gets ill or injured on a job, they don't miss a check for 3 weeks. Then we go to the rest of the employees and say, would you donate an hour a week so that he can pick up a check? We've never been turned down because we tell him, next time it may be you. So that has worked out very, very well. It even more so brings the team together. They're supporting each other, which is the way it should be.
Back in high school and working at the gas station, he saw what maybe was perceived as being an arrogant factor with some of the students and the clientele that came in and out of the garage. He's very keen on making sure you treat people the best you can. We're all in this world together, and no matter what their, say, station in life is, you can learn something from everyone. You just have to listen and pay attention.
With my 12th grade education, I would have gone for more. I joined the CB Reserves and read everything that they had, which helped me in the construction endeavor, all right? Because it's all based on construction. So education to me is very, very important. Families with 3 or 4 children find it difficult to meet the financial needs to go to school. So I have set up the Chambers Family Foundation. The goal is to aid these families with their children to get an education.
He wants to give kids the opportunity similar to what he got, okay? And there are people out there that can't quite afford the educational process. So that's what he set up this kind of little mini foundation and contributes to that on an annual basis. Education and knowledge is just one of his key things. Avid reader, so always out there seeking some additional knowledge on whatever might intrigue him at the time.
That's one of the great things with working with those guys. It's not just drawings and specs, it's the knowledge of construction that they have that goes back years and years that puts them above the rest.
You've got to look ahead. There's going to be rough spots in the road. What you can't make clear for yourself, you have a team that can help you to make those decisions. Go to them. Don't stand there alone by yourself. Bring them into the conference room and say, this is a problem we have. What do you think? And their input is invaluable. It's been a great life. Jeannie and I look at each other and we said, it's been a great ride. We just can't think of anything else any better than what we could have done. Proud of the organization, proud of the people that are running it now. To have a son, a son-in-law, and 3 grandsons running it now is just beyond anything that I ever thought could happen.
Well, I would like to see the next generation succeed. That's number one. I mean, that's a legacy you want to build on. And if there are grandchildren that are interested, truly interested, I hope that they are welcomed with open arms. And if that's not the case and they want to do something else, that's fine also. But you want to see it continue as best you can.